Hi, this is Awesh. Welcome to my YouTube channel SGSM Saturday Classes. In this series, we are going to learn Angular development. So, this session is regarding our system preparation. What are the required softwares we are going to install in our system to use Angular development? We will be doing that thing in this session. So, stay tuned. To start with Angular development, we will be needing few softwares, and these are like Visual Studio Code. It is nothing but IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment. So if you want to use Visual Studio Code, you can use it, or if you want to use some different IDE, you can just use Atom or some other that is readily available on the internet. The second thing you are going to need is Node.JS installation. So I will be guiding you how to install that Node.js also. The third thing is not important, but it is optional if you want to use GitHub for your code repository. Like it is a high level topic for now. So if you want to do that, you have to install Git client also. So let's first go ahead and install Visual Studio Code from the internet. So for that, open up your browser and try to browse this address. I will be providing this link to the video description. So using that link, you can just click on this download button. Like if you are using download, like if you are using Windows operating system, you can just click this button. Or if you have some other platforms also, like Mac OS or Linux, you can just click respective buttons. So by doing that, it is going to download a setup file. You just have to install by using your admin rights in your laptop or desktop. The second thing is Node.js installation. For that, you have to visit this website, that is Node.js official website, and based on your system architecture, you just have to pick up a setup file. That is, if my system is 64-bit, I will just use this 64-bit of MSI. If you don't have admin rights to install any software, you can just install or download this Windows binary. And for 64-bit, if you are having 32-bit system, you can just click this button. Okay, so this way you can install this Node.js. And then the third thing, that is Angular CLI. This is very important thing for Angular development. So you can just go to this angular.io and you can just find the steps how can you install that. So this Angular CLI is only installed after Node.js installation. So make sure before doing Angular client installation, you have to install Node.js first. Now that you have installed everything, let us just check what all things are installed correctly or not. So to check if Visual Studio Code is installed correctly or not, you can just go to the search and type VS Code, and it will be there. It is there, it means it is installed. Now if you open it, it will be looking like this. Yeah, so Visual Studio Code is installed correctly. Now let me just close it because we don't need it anymore for today. Now we are going to check if Node.js is installed correctly or not. So to check Node.js installation, just open command prompt and then type a command here. So type node ---- version. So by typing this command and hitting enter, it is going to display the version of Node.js whatever we have installed from the internet. So in my case, it is v16.17.1. okay, so this means Node.js is installed correctly. One more thing we need to check is whether Node package manager is installed or not. So to check Node package manager, there is a command like npm, and again suffix it with version and hit enter. It is going to display you the version of npm, that is Node package manager. So in my case, it is 8.19.2. in your case, it might be some different numbers, but don't worry, it is perfectly okay. Alright, So since we already installed Node.js and npm in our system, let us go ahead and install Angular client. So to install Angular client, just go to the website of the Angular CLI, and then uh, from this page just copy this link, command. So after copying that, just go to the command prompt and paste it like this. So it is going to install Angular CLI. So I have already installed it uh, in my system previously, but still I'm installing it. Let's see what happens. It is going to take a few minutes maybe based on your internet speed and all. So keep waiting. So it is installed. Now if I just type ng command there, ng space version, it is going to display me the Angular CLI version and everything. So in my case, it is showing Angular CLI as 14.2.6. Node is this, package manager npm 8.19.2, the same thing, the operating system and everything, like whatever details it is showing, everything is installed in your system. There might be a case like if you run this ng space version command, you might see some errors on your console. So let me just tell you to solve that error. So to solve that error, just open up run. So search for run here, and inside run type app data and hit enter. Go to roaming, and then inside roaming you just need to go to the npm folder here. Inside npm folder, okay, let me just make it bigger. Yeah, inside npm folder, double click it and go to this folder. Now you might be seeing ng and ng.cmd files there. If these files are there, that means your Angular CLI is installed, but it is not configured to use. Okay, and if you don't see any ng file here, that means there is a problem in your internet or some other things are there. So try to restart your system and perform the same steps again. Okay, so I am assuming that you are already having this ng and ng.cmd file. Now just copy this address, this folder location, copy it, okay, and then minimize this screen and go to system properties. So I'm just going to right click on this PC, right click, and then properties. Then here there is a advanced system settings, click on that. It will be opening a system properties dialog box. Now you need to click on this environment variables, and then it is going to again open up a new pop-up. Now you need to create few variables for that, like you have to add the Angular CLI location to this path of the system or inside the user variables. So if you have admin rights, you can add it inside the system variables. In my case, I don't have admin rights, so I am just going to user variable section and clicking on this path, then edit. Then you just need to create a new entry and then paste that particular folder location like this. So in my case, I have already done that, like here. So I'm not going to save it, but for you, just paste it here and then save it. Click on OK, and then once again OK, and then OK, and then close. Now try to close the command prompt and reopen the command prompt. Make sure to restart the command prompt, because if you don't restart the command prompt, the changes will be not there. So I'm just going to reopen the command prompt from here, and then let us see ng version. So if you now run this command, it is going to display you every information. So that means you are ready to start with Angular. Okay, so now that you have already installed everything and configured everything related to Angular development, now one very important thing is remaining, that is the extensions for Visual Studio Code that makes our coding easier. Okay, so now let's get started with like what all extensions we are going to install in Visual Studio Code to make our development process faster. Okay, so I have already mentioned a few extensions here. The very first extension is like Angular language service. Then the second one is TSLint. The third one is Prettier, that is a code formatter for your code. Now the last thing is like Angular files. So this is a limited list, but you can explore more if you want. So let me just tell you how you can install these extensions in Visual Studio Code. So for that, let us just quickly open Visual Studio Code. So I have already opened that. So inside here, inside the left pane, if you see, there are few buttons. So if you see this button, if you hover it, it is showing extensions. So just click on that, and in this search box, try to enter Angular service, and then it is going to display this Angular language service. Okay, so in my case I have already installed, but for you have to click this install button that will be here. Then the second extension that is required is TSLint. So I'm just going to type that here, TSLint. So it is actually not required these days, but because if you have already installed Angular service framework, then it is not required. Now the third thing is Prettier. So if you just copy it and paste it here, you can just see Prettier code formatter is there. That is also installed in my case, so you can just install it. The last thing is Angular files. So this extension is basically used to create Angular related files in your project. So if you don't know any one of these extensions, don't worry, you will be understanding this in the further sessions. So just install these extensions for now to make our development faster. Alright, so you just have to click on the install button for the Angular files also. Now that's all regarding the setup and everything. Now I'm assuming that your system is ready to start Angular programming and everything. So let's meet in the second session, that will be introduction to Angular. Till then, thank you so much for watching this video.